how can I put this? The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar organization that has been around for the longest and is an organization that is known to put profits over people. And if you think for a second that they are choosing Kendrick Lamar to headline this Super Bowl to get back at Drake, Birdman, or even Lil Wayne, you might have another issue going on, and you need to name what that actual issue is, because none of the things that you're saying make any sense. Let's talk about it. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. What is going on, you all? When I tell you this Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl headline situation has caused a stir, and it is getting messier by the hour. Kendrick Lamar dropped his teaser trailer for him introducing himself as the headliner for the Super Bowl next year, and people have been talking. And the Super Bowl next year is going to be in New Orleans, and it made sense. As soon as it was named and everything, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Kendrick Lamar has had a good year. The whole rap beef with him and Drake, he's just been wins. And Kendrick Lamar isn't as accessible. We're not seeing him. He's not doing interviews. He's not doing anything. The only time we're seeing him is when he is performing. So it increases his stock. So it makes sense for Kendrick Lamar to headline. He's a performer. He proved himself during the Amazon Juneteenth performance. Certified performer, like perfectionist, all of that, like period. Him, Beyonce, and Usher are up there. Like, they are up there as far as performers, creative people, knowing what to do, how to perform, how to get the crowd like moving. They have that. So it makes sense for Kendrick Lamar to be asked. It makes sense. Now, folks are feeling certain type of way. You had, Lil Wayne's engineer, Fabian, come out and basically just say that he is disappointed but inspired, that, this was a moment that should have been for Lil Wayne, considering it's in New Orleans, and that they are not going to allow the GOAT to be put in a situation where someone else is making the decision. This is what he said. Confused, disappointed, angry, but most of all inspired. We'll never again be in a position or have the GOAT in a position where we are at the mercy of someone else's decision. We will make the decisions. And people are alluding that might be Jay-Z. Jay-Z is the person who is working with the NFL and Apple Music and stuff. Like, he is over whatever. And which is, funny because, him and his wife, Beyonce, shaded the hell out of the Super Bowl and the NFL doing the, kneeling situation and stuff. And, just to see them now, like, sitting up in the skyboxes and stuff is quite hilarious, which is why I screamed, no shade, because Nicki did eat that part. When Nicki said one N-word took a knee and the other one took a bag, she didn't lie. I'm not going to hold y'all. She ate that one. She ate that one like she ate it because it's true. Yes, it's true. Like, Jay-Z did take a bag. He was talking a lot of mess about the NFL and the Super Bowl. Like, the song is still up on the Carters. And him and his wife been taking shots at them. And now, y'all took a bag. You're making money. And it's just like, oh, F everybody else. Like, even Jay-Z sat next to, what is his name?
I think we're both I'm more used to critics than he is.
Honestly, to even start this conversation, we shouldn't be watching this to begin with. I think it's funny that we're supposed to be still boycotting because Colin Kaepernick still isn't playing, hasn't been asked back. He's not coming back. Like, he's not coming back. No matter how much hooping and hollering we did and all the other stuff, like, the NFL does not need us. Like, they don't care. I don't think people understand how large and how the scale of this is. Like, when we say the NFL is like $1 billion organization, we're not talking about, oh, we just got to 990 million. We're talking about billions of dollars. Billions of dollars at stake. Billions with a B. And I don't think folks understand when you talk about like that level of things, there's not one person that is the one who is making the decisions like that. Jay-Z is not that. Folks trying to blame Rock Nation. You got Nicki Minaj taking shots and, taking shots at Jay-Z, not naming. Girl, say their names. Say their names, Nicki, or leave it on the playground. It's clear as day that you are mad at Jay-Z. And a lot of the rumors, and folks have alluded and said that you're mad at Jay-Z and Rock Nation for working with Megan and helping Megan out because you wanted that help at one point and apparently it didn't come to you. So now you're upset and you're calling Jay-Z a house raccoon. You're calling him this. And it's just like you're defending Lil Wayne and dragging it and defending Birdman. First of all, girl, let me be completely honest, girl. Lil Wayne, Drake, and Birdman would not even come out to defend you had this been the other way around, unless it was beneficial for them. Like, girl, you're still in a contract with them, if I'm not mistaken. Like, girl, Birdman, who had Lil Wayne in a terrible contract, who is rumored like was trying to replace Birdman with Young Thug, like, girl, like Birdman does not care about Lil Wayne like that. Had him in a terrible contract, had Drake in a terrible contract that Drake fought his way out of, that you're still in the same contract. Girl, didn't they even sell your masters? Like, girl, what's going on? Like, y'all doing a lot. And y'all need to just go ahead and put a name on it. Because this is not about Kendrick Lamar. This is about how you feel about Jay-Z and how you feel about Rock Nation and whatever, them helping somebody that you don't mess with and you wish that you had this opportunity. That's the real thing that is going on. But nobody wants to talk about it. So y'all are trying to use like, oh, Lil Wayne is being disrespected. Da 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 da. Cash Money is not like the 99 2000. Yes, girl, a moment. Master P, you got him talking about he the ambassador of New Orleans music. You need to be the ambassador of giving your son his money back. Like, you were taking money out your son's pocket and effing him over. You need to be worried about that. Nobody's asking Master P for any of these things. Nobody is tapping. Like, girl, this idea that every city that the NFL has the Super Bowl in is supposed to be somebody from the city. Like, girl, the people who are coming to the Super Bowl are not even local folks. The people who are coming and going to the Super Bowl, who are paying for the tickets, are not even locals. They're rich people. Majority of the people who are local going to the Super Bowl are the ones who are going to be working that evening. That's it. Like, so much to the point that local folks, local poor folks, the homeless population, because it happened in Atlanta back when the Super Bowl was here, were pushed out of the city when they came. And I was one of those that was staying in town suites off Northside Drive. I'll never forget it. And when the Super Bowl came, they raised the price of the motel to the point where the organization that was paying for me to stay there couldn't pay for it. Pushed me out to Sandy Springs because now the motels was like, oh girl, we can charge 3 times this much. None of this stuff cares about the local people. So this idea of having a local artist, when Beyonce performed the Super Bowl, she wasn't in Houston. When J-Lo performed, she wasn't in wherever she was at the week. She wasn't like Lady Gaga. Like, this idea that it has to be a local, that's something that just happened with the LA thing. Like, that was just like a one-time thing. Like, y'all gotta let that go. Like, y'all gotta let that go. It's not real. And getting to the point at hand, Lil Wayne is not a performer. To be honest, the little 3, Drake, Nicki, and Wayne, neither one of y'all are good performers. We need to be honest about like our faves and what they got going on. Nicki has never been known as a performer. Drake has never been known as a performer. Lil Wayne has never been known as a performer. Like, definitely rap, eats it. Like, no doubt about it. All 3 of them have had good songs and all these things and have done tremendous things as far as like music. but y'all are not performers. And I think that this whole experience is a humbling experience. And I talked about this on Patreon because y'all are dealing with y'all decline and y'all being an afterthought. And that's what's getting to y'all, is that y'all know y'all are not as relevant as y'all want to believe that y'all are. Nobody's checking for y'all like that. Like, y'all all have got y'all butt handed to y'all this year. Nicki has gotten her butt handed to her. Drake has gotten his butt handed to him. And Lil Wayne doesn't really seem to care. He doesn't even care when he performs. Like, y'all talking about this is a moment for the GOAT. The GOAT is coming out sounding like a Billy Goat when he's performing. Y'all are embarrassing Lil Wayne, to be honest. Lil Wayne hasn't came out and said anything. Now we're seeing videos and clips going viral of Lil Wayne and some of his worst performances over the last 2-3 years. Now his legacy is now being discussed as far as his performance. Like, it is being disrespected. Like, we are focusing attention on how bad of a performer he is, instead of like how he is a genius when it comes to like a lyricist and all that stuff. Like, it's not being talked about. Y'all be so worried about protecting y'all legacy that y'all don't know when to shut up, and then your legacy starts to be questioned. Now we're talking about him being a Trump supporter, taking pictures with Trump. Like, y'all are trying to defend him and y'all making it worse instead of just being able to just bow out gracefully. That's something my mother just taught me. Like, know when to bow out gracefully. Like, just say, hey, you know what, girl, y'all got it. Like, thank you for the opportunity. Like, have some poise about yourself. Like, Lil Wayne hasn't said anything, but if my friends was over here talking about, obviously, like, shut up. Because what all these folks is bottom feeders. They just want to be a part of it because they know if Lil Wayne gets asked, maybe they'll be on the stage too. So they really don't care. They are bottom feeders and they want to be a part of it because, of course, if Lil Wayne come out and he performs, of course he's going to ask Nicki to come out. Of course Drake will be there. Again, not only is Lil Wayne not a good performer, the last couple of performances, the one he did with the WWE, terrible. Not even just that. Lil Wayne, his brand, where's his what's name right now? He's not on fire right now. There's no tour or anything that's going on. Lil Wayne is not doing anything. Like, no eyes are on him right now. Like, what is it? It makes absolutely no sense as a business because, again, the NFL is a business. They're not about protecting the culture. I know y'all got confused because y'all think Jay-Z in his Basquiat wig is supposed to be the culture. All it does is kind of just make the NFL look good, like they care about black people. Look who's leaving, all the black people. That's all it does. Jay-Z doesn't have that much control, girl. He's a figurehead, no shade. Like, he's just there to sign off and like, oh, look, we got that. We got him here, so we must be doing something right. They're giving him a little input, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to Jay-Z. Jay-Z doesn't have that type of power. Girl, y'all keep giving Jay-Z all these powers and stuff. And I'm like, girl, where is going on? Like, he doesn't have that type of power like that. So to sit up here and say that he's doing this to get back at Birdman makes no sense because you think a multi-billion-dollar like deal comes down to how Jay-Z feels about such and such. Like, think about that. Like, really think about that. You think that decision came on, hey, like, I don't like him, so choose him. You really thought it came to that? Y'all stupid as hell if you believe that. It came down to who is going to make us the most money. Kendrick Lamar. Period. Kendrick Lamar. And now we can get into a conversation about, you know, Kendrick Lamar being this quote unquote pro-black and all these things. And, you know, even in the intro, you're doing the teaser, you're in front of an American flag. And it's just like, girl, cringe. Like, this whole thing with the NFL is true, like, patriot shit. Like, we need to be honest about that. Like, him having, no matter what he was saying in front of that flag, whatever, it had to be done carefully. He cannot get in front and disrespect the flag like that. It's not going to happen. Like, the imagery and like the stuff that it might have been pulled from and clowning Americans or whatever, or making it seem, because somebody was saying that it's a spin on a clip or of General Patton, or this guy imitating General Patton and talking about American, like, the idea of American is like a winner, you cannot be an American unless you're a winner. Goes back to him and Drake and him winning this. There is no round twos and all the other stuff. The imagery of this is still being the flag in the background. Like even him shooting the football and stuff is creative, but it just reinforces like patriotism. Like it just patriotic. That's what I'm getting from it. And I don't like, you're just not going to have like Kendrick Lamar get up there and just disrespect. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And I need us to be honest about that. So, you know, it is what it is. I do think there's legitimate critiques and stuff about it. Like we were eating Beyonce up for Cowboy Carter. Like this is a part of that. And it also reminds me of how everybody was hooping and hollering during the Olympics and just was saying all these things like, oh, I'm gonna be Black Power next week. I'm gonna be going in like, you know, after this. It's like, girl, no, child, y'all out here defending genocide this week and defending this and that. Like, girl, please, the patriotism did not stop. Like, it just amped up. And we're steady in the never-ending cycle of that. Like, everything that we're doing. So it's just like, girl, what does this mean? It means nothing. We shouldn't even be watching the Super Bowl if we're being honest. If we're being honest, it's a critique for us. So if we are even critiquing Kendrick Lamar for being a part of this, we have to also critique ourselves and like, why are we watching it? Why are we even talking about it? Like, why is that? It's so ingrained in our culture. Like, it's just like, it is what it is. But, you know, it's everywhere. But there's so many moving parts to this because you had Master P come out and say some things. Then you had someone who worked with Lil Wayne said that, you know, they worked with him during the Grammys and he did not show up to rehearsal on time. He barely showed up. And when he did, he was leaving. Like, he was just a mess to work with. Like, now, again, his artistry being questioned. Like, it's okay to not be a good performer. Now, I'm not saying you get in front of a stage and have to perform. But also, when it comes to male rappers, the bar is on the floor. When it comes to male rappers, like y'all can come out in a chain, a tank top, and some jeans. The female rappers got to come out and give a whole like 8 count boot cat down the house, boots down, and different outfits, leotards, and all this jumping, flipping, and stuff. And me and just come out there, da da da. Lil Wayne sound a mess and look a mess. And honestly, while y'all sitting here putting pressure on Lil Wayne to perform, y'all need to be checking in with his mental health and see where he's at, because Lil Wayne is not in a position to perform 15 minutes, let alone 50 seconds. Like, y'all got to be honest. Another conversation. We're losing a lot of our faves, black men, because of toxic masculinity. Y'all not taking care of yourselves. Y'all not putting the drinks down. Y'all not getting sleep. Y'all talking about popping scissor and all the other stuff and lean, and y'all doing all the other stuff and y'all leaning over to the left. Like, it's just, we need to have a conversation about that. Like, y'all, like, addiction is real. It's a disease. We really need to be having a conversation about, you know, why some of our greats can perform. They don't have the stamina and they don't have it at 40 years old, like, to get up on the stage and do that. Like, you can't name too many can. Like, they be struggling. They be out of breath. They don't be taking care of themselves. While we trying to make ourselves feel good and say that the GOAT shouldn't be disrespected, we need to be checking and making sure that he has the mental bandwidth to be able to even do this, because it doesn't seem as though he is in a good position to perform like this. Like, Lil Wayne is not in a position to be able to do any of these things. Seeing all these clips going viral, like, hey, this is how he performs. Like, this is what it's giving. Like, this is how Lil Wayne performs. Like, we need to be honest about that. So to sit here and put this on like Jay-Z and like him trying to get back at Birdman, like, look, Nicki, girl, you're not making any sense. Like, Nicki was going off for all of the wrong reasons. This is some of the stuff that she was saying. Denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego. First of all, Lil Wayne is not a young black man, child, but I give you that. He's 41. He's not young. I don't know what you mean by that. Your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you pushing Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne the GOAT. New Orleans, what's good? Eminem stood firm on having 50 Cent come out. A white man, it's sad. House in teens. But it's good. Like, it's just, she's just talking a whole bunch of mess. Like, girl, Lil Wayne wouldn't be doing the same for you. And Drake wouldn't be doing the same for you too. The one thing that Nicki did eat, one took a knee, the other took a bag. girl, and you're the same. You're the what did Monique say? You're that brother. You're the same person with the man that you married. Like, come on now, let's be honest. This is something else she said. And by the way, you don't know the half of it. What Lil Wayne has done for me and others. Lil Wayne had Drake and I on his tour with no paper sign. He was on all my mixtapes with no paper sign. The man has literally changed the face of hip hop. The hair too. I know, you know, da da da. Like, yes, Lil Wayne is that. Like, we're not taking any of that from him. But what we're saying is Lil Wayne is not a performer. You're not a performer either. And neither is Drake. Like, y'all are just not good performers. Y'all need to look into yourselves and figure out what's going on. What could you be doing to make yourself better so you won't be screwed over, whatever, the next time? What caused you to be overlooked? Like, because y'all can't be trying to activate the anti-black bag and all this other stuff and da-da-da when y'all want to and it's beneficial for y'all. But when there's other things going on that's hurting and harming black folks, y'all are silent. But then when it's stuff that's affecting y'all pockets, because that's the only time y'all want us to activate and talk about these things that we talk about and experience each and every day, like, y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all don't want to have discussion. It's only that y'all want to talk about anti-black things and when it's affecting y'all pockets. I don't see y'all out here talking about other stuff and y'all using y'all platforms to talk about other harms and stuff. Not the queen of Shea Butter Twitter, like the hashtag Black Girl Tragic, not you. Like, and to these men out here defending Lil Wayne, like, girl, y'all need to go find y'all some business. Lil Wayne cannot perform no 15-minute set. Point blank, period. He does not have the stamina. He does not have the energy. He cannot perform. He's not a performer. Doesn't mean he's a bad artist. Doesn't mean he's not talented. He's just not a good performer. The Super Bowl, like, halftime show is for performers. Like, it is for performers. He is not that. Kendrick Lamar has proved himself to be that. And it just is what it is. I don't know what to tell y'all. So, you know, folks is mad. O's is mad. But I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, Kendrick Lamar was asked because his brand is also good as well. Like, if that is one of the things, like, Kendrick Lamar more than likely will not be in no mess to next year. Like, Lil Wayne, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. Like, ain't no telling. Like, you also have to think about that. Like, what is good for the NFL's brand? Because at the end of the day, this is about money and protecting the brand and making the brand profitable. It's not about getting back at folks and messing folks over. It's about making profits. And they are not going to be wasting their time on something that will, what's the name? Because Lil Wayne will not have enough time to get this together by February. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way for him to be able to do that. So those are my thoughts. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. I did a video talking about it on Patreon as well, because I had some other thoughts, child. But girl, this whole thing is just a hot mess. But, you know, shout out to Kendrick Lamar for getting this opportunity. I think it's going to be a good performance, but the conversations that are happening and people trying to use Lil Wayne as a scapegoat of being disrespected to get at Jay-Z, like, it's hilarious to me. Like, girl, y'all are some bottom feeders and y'all mad that y'all missed out on an opportunity to bring some money to y'all pockets. And it's just like, if Lil Wayne had a problem, he has anything to say, he needs to come out and just say it. But it is what it is.